welcome back. Angela here. Hope you guys are well, enjoying some crafting time. It's always a great time for self-reflection and just making that little bit of time for yourself, and that's what I use it for mostly. Right, today we are back on our timeless travel journal, and I've got a lovely little project to share with you today. Okay, so let's open this up. I've made a little marker here with my bone folder, and I haven't stuck it down yet, but this is what it's going to look like. Isn't that lovely? So I'm on this lace page here, which is an additional one. That's a separate kit. I use this all the time. If you follow me, you'll know that. This is the tea, avocado and lace background pages. So I've just printed one that I shared with you when we put this together. I have actually put a little bit of ink on there. This is the aged mahogany I talked to you about, and it's nice and perfect for picking up the burgundy sort of shades. All right, so what I did was I have created a little trifold, so not rocket science, and it's got a little pocket in the front here. We've got two pieces of ephemera. I've folded that over like that, so those just go in over here, if I can get them in again. Right, and then I've put in one of the journal cards here. I've added a little tab. Okay, that goes in that pocket there, and then you open that up. We've got some more lace and bits here, two more cards, so time in nature and this faux Polaroid, so that just goes in the back there. And then on the side I've put this little card. Now the space over here, and this is how we'll attach it in our journal, we will just run some glue down there and across there, and we will put that in like that. All right, and then this large tag will go in the back, and then we'll close that up, and there we go. And it lies pretty flat, so not too bulky. Okay, so that's what we're going to make today, and it's really easy, so I hope that you're excited to follow along. Let me take that out there for a minute, or we can leave that there. Let's swap over, so I'll move that to the side, and we'll get started. Now, I used, for the paper, I've used these two pages. All right, so these are the background pages with the sort of map blended in on the sides, so that's what that is. This is the pinkier one, and then this other one I used with the greeny one. I did print on the back, but again, if you don't have a printer or you're using a kit I've provided, then you will just need to stick in the bits. So the bits you'll need to stick in are this bit and this bit across the bottom, that's all. All right, so not hard. Okay, so I did print this one on the back. Okay, now if you are going to print on the back, you won't need to fold this up when we get to that point. You will cut this bit off. All right, this bit here is 2 1/4 inches, the pocket, and that means if you're using a single-sided sheet of paper, you would cut off 2 1/2 inches, and you probably want to do that first. 2 1/4 inches, sorry, 2 1/4. It is just short of 6 centimeters. Okay, right, so if you're doing that, cut off this whole strip 2 1/4 inches or 6 centimeters. However, if you've printed on the back like me, then you're going to follow along. So take your sheet of paper. It doesn't matter if it's US or A4, it doesn't matter at all. It's relevant to the page you're going to put it on. Okay, and we're going to fold this into 3 without using a ruler. Brace yourself. All right, so this is how I do it. I just take that in like that, take it like that, hold it like this, and I bring them together like this. Yeah, like that. A little bit more over. There you go. All right, doesn't have to be perfect, The main thing is that the one in the middle here mustn't be bigger than this one out here. And that looks about right. I'm just going to pinch it there. All right. And then we can just put it on our board and fold that down. And then we'll get this one over, match it to this edge here. Just get it nice and straight. All right. There you go. Just make sure that that's right. Okay. So I wouldn't get too worried if it's not exact. But there you go. All right. Now you'll see this one is fractionally shorter, and that's good. Okay. Right, so let's just get the order of how we want it now. So I want this one to open, let's see, like that. It's best to start at the back probably, guys. So let's get the order of this. Starting at the back, because that's probably easiest. You want to fold this bit down, all right? So let's just take the back, the right, and go almost to the fold line and fold that down. Yeah, that's the first thing. So that's that bit there. Then we're going to fold this way, all right, and then we're going to go back that way. All right, so now you've got that. All right, going to the front, you're going to do the same. Fold this one. Let me just see the edge here so I can. All right, you want to get it pretty close. Like that. All right, so when you open it completely, you've got that. And then it's going to do a Z or a Z in the opposite direction. So more like an S. All right, so that's what we've got. Of course, you can do it any which way if you want to have it that way or you want to have it that way. It's up to you. All right, so I'm doing mine like this. Now, the only other thing to do is, so just open those flaps for a minute. We want to measure our pocket up here. Now, again, this is the part where you would either cut that off or you've done it already, okay? If you are cutting it off, you just need to get this paper and stick that on the bottom for the long pocket. That's the only difference. And then, of course, with the front bit, you just need to cut out a rectangle and tuck it along in there. And then you're good to go. All right, so let's just measure here. I just want to get, and I'm going to just use my board. Doesn't need to be precise. I know that's the half, so we're going to go with about there. And I'm just going to use my finger. Effectively, it comes to the edge of that bit there, pretty much. All right. All right, and then just get that folded like that. Right, that's the basis of our project already. Yeah. Now at this point, you'll want to just do some distressing, especially here, because we're going to end up gluing this down. So I'm just getting a bit of distress ink on there. That looks good. I'm going to get a bit there. And you can finish doing this afterwards here, because we're going to fold that down, and here. All right, let's turn it over this way with those two flaps and get our glue on here. Right, somebody asked me why am I not using the Belly Arts glue, and that's only because I couldn't get hold of it for a while when I was looking to buy glue. So I just went back and used up this, which I had bought on an offer, and I'm not a fan of it, as you know. The bits drive me crazy. Got to wash the nozzle out regularly, and I never remember. So I'm just using up what I have there. All right, so let's carry on with the rest of the gluing. Now, as I've done one of these before, I realized I needed to put some glue on these spots as well. So I'm going to do it for each side of this fold line. It just helps. And then of course at the end. Now the other one I was going to put a magnet in, and I did, but it didn't work when I came to the other. And then I realized at the end I don't really need a magnet, so I'm not putting a magnet in this one. It just adds bulk and I don't need it. It didn't do what I thought it was going to do. So there we go. You've got all of those glued down. Everything is good to go. One little bit more of the gluing in a minute. Okay, so let's now put on our lace. So I did have this lace out. Yeah, I'm going to use this lace. I wasn't going to. This comes from my lace bundle. And I do have a few of these kits left on an offer if you didn't grab any. And even if you did and you wanted another one, because the lace and ribbons in here are actually really good and match very closely to the Whispers of Spring journal. So, you know, they would work with that as well. I'm going to get this stuck on here and I'm going to use my Fabri-Tac. Okay, so I'm just eyeballing it here, and I like the squares because it gives me an idea of where to glue in a straight-ish row. So let's get that on. And I did do the other one like this. I went straight across. I didn't cut pieces like I normally do with the lace. But if you've got pieces, it's a great way to use those up as well. There we go. Okay, so let's get that on. And I'm going to trim this off. Okay, now that is the back, that's the middle, and this is the front. So that will turn over in a minute. I want to, while that's lying flat and drying and doing its thing, let's put on a few bits and pieces. So I've got some of these that are left from my cuttings out. This is the fussy cuts. I wanted to use this globe. I got the passport. And I also grabbed this. Okay, so it was sort of like this clusterish sort of thing that I'm doing, maybe a bit lower. All right, so let's start with this one. The dogs are snoring next to me. Teddy's quite annoyed with me because I haven't taken him for his walk yet. And the reason for that is because it is raining. So I'm doing my video earlier today so that I can have time. Hopefully it's going to clear up and he can get a walk. And he is very restless when he doesn't get his walk, and very like a sulking toddler, you know, because he didn't get to do what he usually does and doesn't get to grips with, or have the understanding at not quite one, why that is. I gave him his ball and I gave him a treat, so let's hope that keeps him busy till the end of the video at least. Right, so we've got this little cluster going on here. That looks cute. I quite like the navy with the pink. It's really cute. Okay, so there we go, looking across the world, bringing our passport and ready to go in the direction chosen. That's what that's about. And then we've got another one where I've got the trainers or the tackies, or what else do you call it? Gym shoes. I want to just put that down here. Lots of walking and, you know, rewards with burgers and fast food. I've never been a burger person. I don't like them at all. I think it's just me. And I don't drink Coca-Cola. Are any of you like that? I've never been a fan. The reason is it gives me terrible hiccups. So I don't drink any pop, and Coca-Cola I just don't like it. I did tell my children that Coca-Cola started off being a medicine and they were horrified. Do any of you remember that? I mean, I'm sure it was before my time, but I do know it. Right. We've got that there. Yeah. Last little one. We've got cake and our diary. So we're journaling and we're eating cake because why not? Oh, I think it's this way. Yeah. All right, so let's get those on as well. These are quick little project, nothing innovative, something I did long ago. But sometimes the oldies are the goodies, definitely. And we like to remind ourselves what they are, especially quick little projects that are nice and flat. Oh, look at that cake. I do love cake. I'm completely gluten intolerant and lactose intolerant, but I still like cake. I treat myself now and then and pay the price later, as you do with those sort of things. Right, so everything looks pretty good there. I think I'm quite happy with all of that. Right, so now we want to fold it over. So just give it a little press with your nail or your bone folder. Turn that over like that, and we're going to get that to go like this. So press it in on all fronts. So there we go. Press that there, and then press it there, and then the bottom as well, and then that side. All right. Gentle over the lace. Okay, so it's going to lie pretty flat. All we need to do now is we need to put some glue here, some glue here. Right, and then while I'm doing that, I'm going to just take my little clips. I'll have 1 and 2, just for a few secs. Let's put this back in here. Right, that's a sweet little project, isn't it? I like that. Okay, while that's happening, I have got a couple of bits that I've put together. This is one of the journal cards. I've just added one of these little rosebud tabs. I have got this little card, Wild Hearts Don't Stay Still. So we're going to put that in there. This is going to go in the back. Yeah. Then I have got this little one, this little one. These are going to go inside. So recharge the senses there. That's also inside. This is going to go on the cover. So serenity, oh, so important. So we'll get that over here. And then this is the tag. Now these 2 tags, this one and the other one, I had a leftover piece of paper that I used. I've just cut it in half. Let me grab it. So this was like this. I think it was, yeah, like that. I just decided which piece I wanted. So I chopped off a bit off the top and a bit off the bottom there. But it was like that. All right, so that's all I've done there. And these are 6 inches by 3 inches. All right, so go look in your scrap box. Oh, you can see like that. Okay, so that one goes in there. This one's going to go into the back here. And then we are going to just add our card. So let's do that. Right, so we're going to put this one in here. And I just want to like layer them diagonally, so we can see a little bit more of each one. And this is there and that is there. Okay, and then we're going to open that up and we'll put in these 2. All right, so I'm just layering them. Perfect. And I didn't put anything on these so it could lie nice and flat. This is going to go in there, and then that one will go behind there. Okay, and again, we're just going to put glue on that bit there and there onto our page. Right, so there's the one, and here's the other. Isn't that quick and easy? All right, everyone, I hope that you go and give this a try. It would be great to use up pages that you have, even if they're single-sided printed. It's not difficult to cut a strip for the pocket at the base and put in a piece of scrap paper triangle over there. Go and have some fun. I look forward to seeing how yours turn out. And if you haven't already, I have a sale running on. I've got a few goodies still left in there, and I do have these timeless travel bundles. So go and grab yourself an absolute bargain, and I'll see you all very soon. Stay well now. Bye-bye.